We are reading from Adilila, chapter 8, verse 49
Yes.
and onwards. There are a few verses without purport. Yeah.
Chapter 8.
Yeah, Chaitanya, so Adilila, chapter 8. You found? Verse 49. Adilila 8:49.
It's only chapter 7.
Ah. In the room. Yeah, in the room maybe. But on the phone.
No, that is first.
Krishna and Guru. Sei sabali dara, shunite vivarana.
Sei sabelera sunite vivarana.
Sei sabali dara, shunite vivarana.
Sei Savalilara Sunite Vivarana.
Sei sabali dara, shunite vivarana.
Sei Savalilara Sunite Vivarana.
Vrindavana vasi bhaktera utkantita mana.
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 Sei sabali dara shunite vivarana.
Sei Savalilara Sunite Vivarana.
Vrindavana vasi bhaktera utkantita mana.
Vrindavana Vasi Bhaktera Utkantita Mana.
You can repeat if you like.
Sei sabalilera sunite vivaranana.
Sei sabali dara shunite vivarana.
Vrindavana vase bhaktire utkantita mana.
Vrindavana vasi bhaktera utkantita mana.
Sei Savalilara Sunite Vivarana.
Sei sabali dara shunite vivarana.
Vrindavana Vasi Bhaktera Utkantita Mana.
Vrindavana vasi bhaktera utkantita mana. Say,
Sei
those,
those
Sabha,
sabah
all,
or
Lilara,
Lara
of the pastimes,
of past times.
Shunite,
Sunite
to hear,
to hear.
Vivarana,
Vivarana
description,
description.
Vrindavana vasi,
Vrindavana Vasi.
the inhabitants of Vrindavan,
The inhabitants of Vrindavan.
Bhaktera,
Bhaktera
of devotees,
Of
the
devotees.
devotees.
Utkantita,
Utkantita
in anxiety,
Nanaksit
Mana,
Mana
minds.
minds.
Translation. The devotees of Vrindavan were all very anxious to hear those pastimes. Which pastimes? Of whom? Whom are we talking about? Of Lord Chaitanya. Because in previous verse he says, he ecstatically described the pastimes of Lord Nityananda, but the later pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained untold. Because there is no purport, we continue. I will just read the shloka. Vrindavane kalpadrume suvana sadhana Mahayoga Pita Tahan Ratna Simhasana. Translation. In Vrindavan, in a great place of pilgrimage, underneath the desire trees, is a golden throne bedecked with jewels. Tate Vasyache Sada Vrajendra Nandana Shri Govinda Deva Nama Sakshat Madana. On that throne sits the son of Nanda Maharaj, Shri Govinda Deva, the transcendental Cupid. Raja Seva Hayatanha Vichitra Prakara Divya Samagri Divya Vastra Alankara. Varieties of majestic service are rendered to Govinda there. His garments, ornaments, and paraphernalia are all transcendental. Sahasra Sevaka Seva Kare Alu Anukshana Sahasra Vadane Sevana Yavanana. In that temple of Govindaji, thousands of servitors always render service to the Lord in devotion. Even with thousands of mouths, one could not describe this service. Sevara Adyaksha Shri Pandita Haridas Tanara Yashaguna Sarva Jagate Prakasha. In that temple, the chief servitor was Sri Haridas Pandit. His qualities and fame are known all over the world. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Sri Haridas Pandit was a disciple of Sri Ananta Acharya, who was a disciple of Gadadhar Pandit. Shri Shri Nitai Sachisuta Ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Paramesh Mate Subhadra Devi Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Parishishwara Ki Jai. Quand tu veux. C'est juste pour pas que j'oublie. Donc on va lire déjà un petit peu ici. Om Achinyanati Mirandasya Chinanandjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutare Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamaram Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Bracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nam Eva Kevalam Kalo nastyeva 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 gatiranyata. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Is there, yeah, it will be hard to translate, huh? Anyway. So here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami still talking about the Chaitanya Mangala, and after he explained how the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are unlimited and unfathomable. This one is a bit complicated, but it means that you can never reach the end of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. They are unlimited. And because they are unlimited, and that Vrindavan Das Thakur already saw that the volume of his book was so big, he decided to stop, and he could not describe all the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. And in that way, he gave opportunity to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to actually do it on the request of the Vaishnavas. This is always like this, that it happens in the life of a Vaishnava, which service he is doing for Krishna, how he does it, how he evolves in his spiritual life, always depending on the mercy of the Vaishnavas, mercy of the spiritual master, mercy of Srila Prabhupada, mercy of all the Guru Parampara, who somehow or other they manifest in our life, you know, and their teachings, their instructions, they are spread in the hearts of the devotees who read the books, who serve them, and thanks to this, there is transmission through the Parampara system, and these instruction teachings, which are very valuable for us, they are transmitted for us to go further or closer and closer to Krishna. And in that sense, Lord Chaitanya is making himself accessible to us by being engaged fully in the global Sankirtan mission. And this is the pastime of the Lord, this Sankirtan movement. Lord Chaitanya gave us this opportunity, this access to his lila, and we can choose to participate to it with whatever service connected to it. Sometimes we have this understanding that, okay, Sankirtan mission is only through going in the street, chanting and distributing books. Of course, it's a very important, very, very important aspect of the preaching mission, but not the only one. And prasadam distribution is part of it. Deity worship can contribute to it as well, provided the mindset of the devotees who are worshipping, the mindset of the devotees who are cooking, even those who are distributing books, you know, because sometimes you may distribute books but have another desire than to serve Lord Chaitanya. You may do it for money, for instance, you know, and sometimes it happens. You can also do it for fame. You know, you can say, okay, I will distribute books for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, and then, you know, you actually do it because every morning in the temple someone is reading the scores and, okay, today I distributed this amount of book, haha, look at me, you know. So our motives are not pure. That's in some way normal, but we should always consider that there is a golden standard. The golden standard is to do it, any seva, only for the pleasure of the Lord. And we have to be conscious of our level. Okay, so my level is, it's true I like when, you know, someone mentioned my names when I distributed some books, or that yesterday because I sang, so many people joined and danced. Wow, you know, it brings me some pleasure. We have to accept it and also consider that by the process of devotional service, this will purify. How? Because Krishna will send a situation in which we will realize that all this ulterior motive, they are secondary. They cannot fulfill our heart to the deepest. Only Krishna's service and Krishna's pleasure is able to fulfill this need of the heart to have this complete love, you know. And Krishna is the source, the fountainhead of this love. And if we awaken this dormant love for Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, then all our desires will be fulfilled. And because fulfilling the desires connected with the Lord is on a spiritual platform, and because we are first and foremost spiritual entity, we're part and parcel of the Lord, the spiritual spark. If we take care of the spiritual desires, if we nourish them, if we target it toward the good direction, then if we fulfill these desires, it will fulfill all the material needs as well. We will not that it will fulfill, but they will become secondary. Still, they might be fulfilled because the Lords, like in the story with Dhruva Maharaj, when Dhruva Maharaj came, he addressed his mom to understand Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
He understood that, okay, now how can I get on the lap of my father, to play with my father, to get some affection from my father? Then he was asking his mom, is it normal? The mom said, unfortunately, yes, because you didn't, in this birth, I am the second wife, and it's like this, you have to accept that your father, is listening to his first wife, who doesn't allow you, and this is normal. Still, you can go and try to find the Lord to fulfill your promise, your desire. And so then Dhruva Maharaj was, at 5 years old, he was wishing to have a bigger kingdom than his father himself, who was already a great king, And so he went in the forest to perform some austerities to get this, this power, this kingdom. And by doing so, he will be on a better place, better situated, and wishing to have this affection, this affectionate relationship. But as you know, in the process of finding, fulfilling this desire, which is material one, right? He found on his way Narada Muni. Narada Muni, in the position of a spiritual master, instructed him how to fulfill his desire, but still giving him, a path that will put him on a spiritual path. And Narada Muni, as a spiritual master, a bona fide spiritual master, a Mahajan, by the way, he was not only considering accepting his material desire, but because he was a bona fide spiritual master from beginning, he made him understood that you can achieve him through this spiritual process. And look, at the end of this process, there is the Supreme Person. This is the duty of a spiritual master, to give us what is the prayojan, what is the ultimate goal. Yeah? And because this seed is in our heart by the mercy of our spiritual master, then our practice is targeted toward that direction. And if we follow sincerely and strictly the instructions of our spiritual master, then all this, how do we call this? This little mauvaise herbe, how do we call this? Creepers. All these creepers around this spiritual need, like desire for fame, for money, for wealth, for women, all of this will be taken out provided we don't commit any Vaishnava parada, of course, because this is very detrimental to our path. And bona fide spiritual master, so give us this prayojan and give us our individual path to reach this prayojan. Because for each of us, because we are individual, we are part and parcel of the Lord, we quite often, okay, part of parcel, you understand. But part of parcel means you are an individual spark. So, as an individual entity, you have individual identity. Thank you. And this individual identity is always present, maybe covered in this material atmosphere, but still it is existing. Yeah. And so our path necessarily should be also individual. That's why the spiritual master, first of all, when we start the process, he will help us to uncover the material influence. He will give us instructions to take out this material influence. And how he does it? Not like, okay, you are influenced by the guna, first you take out the guna and then you practice spiritual life. No. Directly you practice spiritual life. At the mercy of Krishna, these material influences, they will go away. And at the same time, you simultaneously you work on your Dharma and love. It's like this. It's because you wake up spiritually that all this darkness of material life gets out. If you arrive in a dark room, like when we arrive for Mangalarati here, everything is dark, and then we put a little light, and we can see where we are, what's going on here. Oh, Prabhupada is here. It's nice, like every morning, very stable, and always here for us to bestow his mercy. And in the same way, by the bhakti process, with this seed planted in our heart, little light, a dim light starts to manifest, and we can start to see, okay, I am this soul in the body, okay, now I act accordingly, and by feeding our bhakti, practicing devotional service, 16 round, 4 regulative principles, we put more and more light and take out the gross influence of material life. And the more it goes, the more we can engage in devotional service in the good consciousness. And already good level is to reach this karma yoga. Karma, so action targeted towards Krishna. And already this level is quite something to achieve. Basmati Manjari was sharing with me yesterday. She had a class from Vatsala Prabhu, who is a Russian preacher, very jnani preacher, and systematic teachings, very, very nice. And he explained that to reach this karma yoga, or to understand if you reach it, first you have to see different elements that will help you. What is an action performed correctly in karma yoga? What is actually karma yoga, or action in Krishna consciousness? First of all, you have to understand that there is Krishna, but more concretely there is sadhana. First, he says, if you don't have sadhana, strong sadhana, you cannot do it for Krishna. Because, for instance, if you don't wake up early, let's say you wake up at 11, then you have your old duties, and there is already, all material life around boiling, and this has an impact on our mind, because the atmosphere at this time of the day is so surcharged by, the desires of all the living entities around who are already going to work and having some problems, fight, and targeting their material motives to have fame, money, women, and so on. Atmosphere is so surcharged, so the mind is shaken, You cannot fully concentrate on Krishna at this time of the day. If you start your day at this moment without being prepared, so difficult. Maybe you already experienced it, and sometimes when we are sick, we have to sleep, and we understand that when we who wake up at this time of the day, wow, it's so difficult. But we do how we can, of course. So strong sadhana is important. What does it mean? It means morning rounds, doing some worship and reading the books of Srila Prabhupada, and then we can be more protected for that. Hearing, yeah. Shravanam, Kirtanam, yeah. So this is sadhana, and it should happen already from the morning. Then, the second aspect to consider is to actually respect or fulfill the instructions given to us, and especially 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles. Because if you don't follow this, you can also not be fully acting for the Lord. Because you cannot even act sometimes because of that. Because of sinful activities, you may be sick, or you are apathic, you don't want to act. Because there is too much ignorance covering you, and so you are like, okay, what do I do today? Okay, I stay in bed. No, if you want to practice spiritual life, then it means for the Vaishnavas following in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is to follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya and of Srila Prabhupada. And so Srila Prabhupada mercifully gave us 16 rounds to do and 4 regulative principles. And prasadam. This is one aspect also important, it's true. But are you honoring prasadam for Krishna? Or for... it's part of the purification.
He started with prasadam.
Started with prasadam. The day starts with prasadam, yeah?
No. What I mean, Srila Prabhupada started this movement by distributing prasadam.
Yeah, because prasadam is the most accessible.
No philosophy, no chanting, nothing, only prasad and
very little.
Really easily accept.
Kirtan, little philosophy, prasadam. This is the key for the beginning. So you see already these 2 aspects. Not everyone can do it on a regular basis, because it's not really, okay, one day I do, so 6 remaining days of the week, it's okay, I don't need. No, every day it should be like this. It's a routine that we have to install, daily routine. And after some point, you understand there is some taste in it, no? Don't you perceive like if you, I know Rohit Prabhu for instance comes every morning for Mangalarati, then doing his rounds, trying his best, it's like giving some taste. You feel more connection with Krishna and some more, bright face, smile on the face during the day. We can see it within a short period of time, how it impacts. And if you have this experience, when there is one day you don't do, wow, you feel, oh, I miss it.
Yes.
I don't know if you missed already, but personally I did sometime. And I feel, wow, something is lacking, the day is different, it was difficult today. And then you remember, okay, this morning, no strong sadhana, so that's how it goes. And we have to be also conscious that through time, our sadhana will evolve. Sadhana with time, with age, with health, with different service that we are connected to, will make our sadhana different. This is always changing. We were talking about it during the Bhagavatam class yesterday. This is normal because Krishna want to engage us in different areas. We were talking yesterday about the creation and how there are different manus, and manu is a post, and this post can be taken by different personalities, different individuals. And we understand that manu, there are 14 manus in one day of Brahma, and so many years are in this one day of Brahma. And of course, our spiritual practice will be different already in this life. So can you imagine, in one day of Brahma, how many different services we will do? But till we are engaged in these 9 angas of devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Mananam,
Adasevanam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Satyam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That's the main thing. So, two aspects which we mentioned. Then, to be in acting for Krishna also means once you have this sadhana, you follow the regulative principles, then you have to actually do it correctly. You have to act like a duty, you know, and to do it nicely. For instance, you may have some occupation, like a work or something, or studies. The point is to do it nicely, not like, okay, here is a temple life, I will do my best, and when I go to school I don't care, you know, it's not very important. Or my job, okay, I will do the minimum, that way I can do, then I can focus more on Krishna and so on. But actually, at this step of our spiritual life, when we try to act for Krishna, it would be a kind of false renouncement. Like, okay, I don't need this job, no, we need to fulfill some duty nicely. And from the moment when we do it nicely, for Krishna, you know, it's not doing it nicely for our boss. The real boss is Krishna. So we do it for the supreme boss. Krishna is the supreme boss. And we try to understand how to please Krishna through this person, because this person, this boss, not supreme boss, but the boss, has also Krishna in his or her heart. And we try to understand how to please Krishna by fulfilling our duties nicely, and also to give or to take any opportunity to give her or him a little bit of Krishna in the form of prasadam, in the form of, you know, some philosophy, the form of whatever, bhajan if you want, but please be aware of French culture, which is not very receptive to spiritual culture, but still there are some opportunities, and we have to be patient with that, not to already push from the first day, okay, do you know Krishna? Hare Krishna, you will see, you'll be very happy if you chant all day long, and all the colleagues, you can chant with me. No, it would be weird in the first sight. You can try, but be careful with that. So by doing this nicely, you please your environment, you make friendship with them, you know, because if you serve them nicely also, and have Krishna in your mind, then you can become friends, you can easier talk about Krishna. And then what happens, because the fruit of that, what is the fruit of good acting, is that you, indeed you have this friendship, and you have desire to serve more Krishna. And from the job, the fruit also is the money. There is always a fruit. And the point to act in Krishna consciousness is to use this fruit not for yourself, but for Krishna, for the mission. And concretely, it means, okay, from my job, I do my job nicely, so I receive my wage every month. Okay, now it's time for holidays. I do my morning sadhana, I go to my work. Okay, now this fruit of money, it's for me. I will use it how I like. No, this is not fully in Krishna consciousness. No, how can I use it for the mission? I can make a donation for the temple. I can buy some boga, offer it to the home devotees. I can buy a present for a devotee. I can pay my rent that is actually a temple in my house, and I can invite some devotees, offer them a nice prasadam, Vaishnav Seva. There are so many ways to engage the fruit of our action in Krishna and in the mission of Lord Chaitanya. I can buy some instruments for the Lord, I can finance some works that needs to be done in the temple, I can sponsor the Sunday feast, so many ways. Krishna gave us so many ways. If you know anyone who doesn't know how to engage the fruit of his work or anything, please signal it to me. Signal this person to me. We'll find Prabhupada created so many opportunities. There is no impediments. There is no impediment to bhakti. If you want to serve the Lord, there is no impediment. Bhakti is not conditioned. So if you want to serve the Lord, there is a way. You may not find it, so ask to a devotee, and this devotee will help you for sure. And so you got your fruit, you engage it in the mission. And the last aspect, so fifth aspect, is that you got this fruit, you engage it in the mission, and then you don't get proud. Oh, look, I do my sadhana, I do my 16 rounds, like sadhana, Shravanam, Kirtana, and every morning strong. I do my 16 rounds, I respect the 4 regulative principles. I do my job nicely, I get some wage which I engage in the mission. Look at me. This is the tendency. You feel, okay, I do all of this. But no, acting Krishna consciousness, like, be humble, because you're not the doer. You are not the doer. We are just instruments in the hands of the Lord. And this is the position we should have. All these 5 aspects are the ingredients. It's not like you can miss one of them. If you don't have these 5, means you are not acting for Krishna. So this is a good meditation to have, to see how we can improve each of these aspects. We can always improve Shravanam, Kirtanam. We can always improve the quality of our chanting. We can always go deeper in the 4 regulative principles to understand them better, how there is the gross regulative principle, like for instance, no illicit sex. Yeah, we understand the on the gross level, but there is also the subtle level, because it's also there are 3 ways of acting on the bodily platform, on the speech, and on the mind's platform. So okay, I understand for the bodily platform, but still your mind can meditate on this sex desire, and you have to understand how to counteract it. So again, with our duty, we can fulfill it always more nicely, try to understand what I should improve to both fulfill the desire and connect my environment to Krishna, how to do it better. It's always possible to improve. Why? Because Krishna is unlimited. Bhakti is always expanding. And if you look at it, one of our main obstacles here is lust. And this lust, what is lust actually? It's a prema, so this prim love, transformed through the contact with Rajaguna. In the contact with Rajaguna, it becomes kama, this lust. And in the same way as prema is always increasing, the relationship between Krishna, Radharani, or Krishna and his devotees is always expanding, never stops. So in the same way, kama has the same quality in a way. That's why if you want to take out or to diminish kama, to begin, it's not by accepting what this energy is proposing you, like you always want more, you have some material desires, it will never stop, provided you replace it with, you manage to target it back to Krishna. This kama, you may think, okay, I will eat this 2 more sandesh, and then I am good. But when you eat the 2 sandesh, it was nice, very nice the last one. Maybe I should take a little one more. There is a new proposition coming in your mind. And that's how it works. It never stops, because it's also this quality of always expanding. So it's like a big fire. If you put more oil or more ghee into it, it will continue to burn. It will not stop like this. So you should find another strategy, and the strategy is to retarget this object and our senses towards Krishna. This is the point of Krishna consciousness. Yeah, 8:55. Sorry, I was not releasing or sharing much on the verses of today. It was mentioned about Vrindavan, and Vrindavan is such a great place of pilgrimage indeed. And here, pastimes of the Lord happens and still happen. But to enter the Dham, it's not a matter of going geographically there. Of course, it helps because when you're there, it's easier to remember Krishna. But it's mostly a matter of consciousness, and to work on our consciousness. This starts with acting for Krishna. And acting for Krishna, as we saw, these 5 aspects will help us to already acting like this. Still, there might be some motive around, but through the process we can go deeper and deeper. And don't forget, please, that all of these 5 aspects, you can understand that there is a bit of our effort in that, yeah? It is in our hands, kind of. This is our cover letter for Krishna, but still, the result of this the purity that we're looking for in our service, Nabilashita Shunyam, this pure devotional service can happen or can be manifested only through the mercy of Vaishnavas and only by the mercy of only through the mercy of Vaishnavas, the Guru Parampara, and only through that, no other way. Prabhupada, indeed. Yeah, any question before we finish the class? Any realization, any something that you retain from this class maybe you would like to share?
Realization, not like realization, just
Okay.
Radhesham Prabhu.
No.
He telling one line, don't try to prove but improve. You said that
Very
point
nice.
in this class.
Very nice.
You told
Don't try
him
to prove, but improve. Thank you.
because you told in the class that sometimes we are just proving for the fame,
Yes.
book
yes.
distribution. That I remember the point.
Yeah, because if you don't improve in spiritual life, means you are decreasing. There is no stagnation in spiritual life. So, yeah, if you have this feeling, okay, nothing, I don't feel any real change inside or in my services since a while, start to wonder, because there might be something to readapt, to change in the sadhana or somewhere in your seva. The mindset, attitude is very important in our the key in our progress. I'm talking today most about progress, but this progress is not like, okay, I should be more more skilled, able to do more things. No, the progress is to be closer to Krishna, to be more Krishna conscious. That's the thing. Sometimes we think this progress is, I will be more purified. It's targeted toward us. I practice because I want to be more purified. But for what? To please Krishna, to be more understanding the relationship with Him, to be in the relationship with Him, and not to chant our rounds like, okay, what I will do after? It's nice. There is present time. It's okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. No, to be with Him and to interact and to understand what He really needs. Should I put this clothes today or that clothes? Sometimes we think what I think is good, oh, this is beautiful, I will put. So it's mixed, like this, my desire, his desires. Okay, I like this preparation, I will cook this preparation, and Krishna will like. This is one way to look at things. But the more we are purified, that's for sure, the more we can understand the needs of Krishna and the oneness that is acceptable in Krishna consciousness is the oneness of desires, and it doesn't mean that we have the same desire. I will explain. Is that Krishna desires this preparation, for instance, and the devotee who reached this level, right, which is not in our hands, wants to cook this preparation. This is the oneness, There is one common desire, but one is the supreme enjoyer, one is the servant. So this is oneness in Krishna consciousness. And to reach this level, we need to be purified indeed. And purification starts with Shravanam, Kirtanam. So the more we are plunged in that and we hear from the pure Vaishnavas, the more our consciousness becomes uplifted, targeted towards Krishna, and it is a constant effort. I heard a class very inspiring for me of Amarendra Prabhu. I don't know if you know this young, I don't know how old is he, but he looks very young, like 30, 40, I don't know. So young, but he knows so many things, and it's Vijnana. There is some realization, and we don't know where, how, so young. But of course, we understand that it's not his first life. Krishna consciousness, and from child he was, already plunged in this spiritual culture. It's very inspiring to see these children grown in Krishna consciousness. Very beautiful and hope-giving. And he was sharing, and I forgot what I wanted to share. What was it about? Purification. I'm sorry, I lost it. Krishna, please. Purification. What did I say just before?
Desire, spiritual desire.
Yeah.
Purification.
It's about the class you have.
Yes, there is one aspect connected with purification.
Two other ways.
Mm-hmm. No, I cannot remember, I'm sorry. Shravanam Kirtanam. Yes, thank you, Udayanita. Shravanam Kirtanam. Because he was explaining what is the fruit of our rapt attention in Shravanam Kirtanam. When we try our best to listen to the class or to be attentive on our chanting, what is the fruit of that? So important point, never heard before. What is first rapt attention? And he was smilingly explaining, because in the audience there was some grihasthas with the children around. This rapt attention, when you have your child and you try to listen to the class and the child is running here and there and is shouting and you are like, ah, but you try your best to hear. Or when you're at home and some neighbor put some music, or sometimes it's difficult to listen to the class. Someone is calling you in the kitchen, someone is requiring your help on this and that. But still you try, you fight. You're in the metro trying to read, and there's so much disturbance around, but you try, you put your attention as much as you can on this reading and hearing, because reading is also hearing in the mind, So what is the fruit of that? The fruit of this rapt attention is actually to hear them about the pure Vaishnava's life. Because when you get in contact with the life just hearing about the life of a pure Vaishnava, you see the fruit, then your heart is so inspired. And it's a kind of, it was explaining kind of, the purification is even stronger. And by their mercy, then you go deeper and deeper in the relationship with Krishna, and bhakti manifests more and more in your heart. So he was sharing this during a class about Madhavendra Puri, and he was explaining that when you, the one who glorifies, but the one who hears about pure Vaishnavas get so much purification in their heart. So you can understand in your life that if you get to know about one pure Vaishnava, you are around listening a class about this or that Vaishnava, or devotee share with you this, probably you are picking a fruit of your rapt attention in your practice, in Shravanam, Kirtanam especially. Yeah. Sorry, we went over time, but I wanted to share this point. Thank you, Danitai, for helping to remember. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhu ki